The retirees who actually hold onto their money, the ones living comfortably with zero financial stress at 75, 80, 85 years old, they all share one strange habit. They stopped buying things. Not the essentials, they've got plenty of those covered. I'm talking about specific categories of spending that drain average retirees completely dry, while the ones who are genuinely wealthy just walk right past without blinking. After watching how this plays out in real life over the years, I've narrowed it down to 7 things wealthy retirees absolutely refuse to spend money on anymore. Some of these are going to catch you off guard. A couple might sting a little because there's a decent chance you bought one of them recently. Stick with me all the way to the end because if you only walk away changing one single habit after watching this, that last one is the one that matters most. Let's get into it. Number 7, brand new cars. I get it, this point gets brought up constantly, but most people completely miss the real reason wealthy retirees stay away from them. It is not because they cannot afford one. They could write a check for 3 of them today in cash and still go out for a nice dinner afterward. It is because they understand something called depreciation, and they treat it exactly like a contagious disease, something to be avoided at all costs. Here is what actually happens. The second you roll that shiny new $65,000 SUV off the dealership lot, by the time you pull into your driveway, cut the engine, and pop the trunk to grab those cheesy dealership balloons, that car is already worth somewhere around $55,000. You just lost 10 grand. For what exactly? The privilege of being the very first person to spill coffee on the center console. After 3 years, that same vehicle is sitting at roughly $39,000 in value. You have lost nearly half of what you paid just by owning the thing and driving it to Costco a few times a week. Wealthy retirees buy 2 to 3-year-old certified pre-owned vehicles. Same car, same features, same heated seats that feel like a warm hug on a freezing cold morning, but somebody else already absorbed the depreciation blow for them. Then they drive it for 10, 12, sometimes 15 years, change the oil like clockwork, and smile all the way to the bank. I personally knew a retired pharmacist with a net worth of about $3 million. The man drove a 2011 Toyota Camry with 200,000 miles on the odometer until the day he passed. He always used to say, "It still gets me to the store and back, so what exactly is the problem?" Meanwhile, his next-door neighbor, still clocking part-time hours at 73 because he had no real choice, had just signed his 4th straight Cadillac lease. You tell me who is genuinely winning that one. Number 6, extended warranties and unnecessary insurance. This one combines 2 of the most profitable scams running in modern American retail. You walk into a store to buy a refrigerator, the salesperson runs through their whole routine, and then right at the finish line, they look you dead in the eye and say, "Sir, would you like to add the 5-year protection plan for just $249.99? And they do it with that deeply concerned expression, like a doctor sitting you down to deliver devastating news about a beloved family pet. Here is the truth that nobody working behind that counter will ever volunteer. Extended warranties are nearly pure profit. Pure profit. Retailers would not push them harder than a used car salesman at the end of the month, if these things were actually paying out at any real rate. Most products either fail within the first year, which is already covered under the manufacturer's warranty at no cost to you, or they break down well after the extended coverage has quietly expired. Funny how that timing always seems to line up perfectly. The same logic applies to all these ridiculous add-on insurance policies people keep signing up for without thinking twice. Identity theft insurance, phone insurance, pet insurance for a goldfish, travel insurance on a $200 hotel reservation, mortgage life insurance, cancer insurance, accidental death coverage for every imaginable scenario under the sun. There is now an insurance product for absolutely everything, including a few I'm fairly certain someone invented in a meeting room about 2 weeks ago. Wealthy retirees worked this out a long time ago. The insurance industry makes its money by selling you peace of mind against things that are statistically very unlikely to ever happen. Their personal philosophy is simple and clean. Cover the catastrophic risks and self-insure everything else. Great health insurance, solid homeowners coverage, proper liability protection, absolutely. But $14.99 a month to protect a toaster oven against some. Act of God, hard pass. The rule they live by is this. If you cannot afford to replace something out of pocket without serious pain, maybe you needed a bigger financial cushion before making that purchase in the first place. Like number 5, trendy home renovations. This one is absolutely everywhere right now, and it is chewing through retirement savings faster than a weekend in Vegas with no self-control. You know exactly what I am talking about. Open concept everything, quartz countertops, but only the specific veining pattern that happens to be blowing up on Pinterest right now. Shiplap walls, barn doors, subway tile in 6 different configurations, that particular shade of gray that every single person painted every surface of their home between 2018 and 2022 that now reads as completely dated. The accent wall, the black framed windows, the farmhouse sink that cost more than some people paid for their first car. Here's the thing, nobody's going to sit you down and explain about trendy renovations. By the time you finish them, those trends are already heading out the door. The kitchen you invested $80,000 into last year, in about 5 years, your grandkids are going to stroll in and say, "Oh wow, Grandma, this is so 2024. And trust me, they will not mean it as a compliment. Wealthy retirees who stay wealthy do not chase trends. They renovate for exactly 2 reasons: function or genuine structural necessity. The roof is actively leaking, replace the roof. The plumbing was installed in 1962 and is held together by hope and prayers, update the plumbing. The kitchen layout genuinely does not work for anyone living there. Okay, fix it." But they are not tearing out a perfectly good bathroom because someone on HGTV declared matte black fixtures are the look of the season. Research shows the average homeowner spends between $40,000 and $80,000 on a mid-range kitchen remodel and typically only recovers about 60% to 70% of that investment when the home eventually sells. That means you're permanently handing away $15,000 to $25,000 every single time you chase a renovation trend. Do that 3 times across a 30-year retirement, and you have effectively written a check to Home Depot for the cost of a brand new car. The wealthiest retirees I have personally encountered are living in homes that have not seen a major cosmetic overhaul since the late 90s, wood paneling and all, and their bank account balances, those look absolutely outstanding. Number 4, luxury status goods. This one is genuinely fascinating because there is a real psychological shift that takes place in people who have built authentic, lasting wealth. It is almost the exact opposite of what most people would guess. When people first start pulling in serious money in their 30s and 40s, many of them go through what I call the logo phase. Everything needs to announce their success to the world. The Gucci belt, the Louis Vuitton bag, the Rolex, the Coach purse, the Tommy Bahama shirt with a giant marlin blazing across the chest like a walking billboard. But by the time they reach retirement and they have genuinely built real durable financial security, something in their brain completely flips. They stop buying logos altogether. Why? Because people who are truly wealthy have absolutely no need to advertise it to strangers. The entire purpose of a $400 designer t-shirt is to communicate to people you have never met and will never see again that you can afford a $400 t-shirt. But once you have actually crossed that threshold, you stop caring what those strangers think about you. That right there is the whole secret laid completely bare. Wealthy retirees buy quality, not brand recognition. They will gladly put $100 toward a perfectly tailored navy blazer that holds up for 20 years without question. They will not spend $100 on a hoodie simply because someone screen printed Balenciaga across the chest in enormous block letters. There is a saying that goes something like this. When you are broke, you wear designer to look wealthy. When you are middle class, you wear designer to feel wealthy. And when you are genuinely wealthy, you are in a plain white t-shirt from Costco, and nobody passing you on the street can tell if you are worth $10 or $10 million. Here is the honest truth that nobody loves to hear. The only people who are genuinely wowed by your luxury goods are the people who cannot afford them. People with real money see someone carrying a $1,500 designer handbag and quietly assume one of two things: serious debt or someone who works in marketing. Number 3, expensive hobbies. Yeah, this is where retirement quietly unravels for a lot of good people. They spend 40 years grinding away, finally cross the finish line, and think to themselves, now I am finally going to pick up all the hobbies I never had time for. Then they go out and choose the most expensive hobbies on the face of the earth. Golf, where the equipment alone sets you back a couple $1,000s just to get started. The country club membership runs $15,000 a year, and every single round costs around $100 before you even count the $80 you will spend on lunch and a couple of drinks at the clubhouse afterward. Wealthy retirees are not opposed to hobbies, not even a little bit. They genuinely believe that having the right hobbies is one of the most important ingredients in a deeply satisfying retirement, but they pick hobbies that cost almost nothing or hobbies they can enjoy at a completely reasonable ongoing price. Walking, hiking, gardening, which comes with the added bonus of actually feeding you and cutting down your grocery bill. Reading from the public library, volunteering in their community, woodworking with tools they already own and know inside and out, fishing from a $300 kayak instead of a $300,000 yacht, picking up a new language on a $12 a month app, playing pickleball, which has somehow swept across the entire country and only requires about $40 worth of gear to get completely set up. The math on this is almost uncomfortable to look at. A retiree who goes all in on golf and boating as their primary hobbies can easily spend $25,000 to $50,000 every single year keeping those habits alive. A retiree who leans into hiking and gardening might spend $500 in a good year. Over a 25-year retirement, that gap represents the difference between leaving your children a meaningful inheritance and calling them up to help cover the property taxes. Hobbies are supposed to bring you peace and restore your energy. If your hobby is triggering anxiety every time the credit card bill shows up in your mailbox, that is not a hobby. That is a financial obligation dressed up in leisure clothing. Number 2, percentage-based financial advisors. Go ahead and buckle up because this one is going to ruffle some feathers, but it is a conversation that absolutely needs to happen. The financial advising industry has done a remarkable job convincing everyday Americans that without a professional actively overseeing every dollar, the whole thing is going to implode in a spectacular disaster. Now look, some advisors are genuinely worth every single dollar they charge. Some of them have talked clients back from the edge of truly catastrophic financial decisions, but the standard fee arrangement where they quietly skim 1% off your total assets every single year, regardless of what the market is doing, is silently gutting retirement portfolios all across this country. Let me walk you through the actual math because this part is genuinely difficult to sit with. Say you have $1 million saved heading into retirement. Solid nest egg. You worked hard for that. A 1% advisor fee sounds practically harmless, right? Just 1%. That is only $10,000 a year. Only over a 25-year retirement with compounding factored in properly, that quiet little 1% fee can consume somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000 of your retirement savings. $500,000 gone in exchange for someone who calls you up a few times a year to say, yeah, just stay the course. The market always comes back around. Wealthy retirees saw through this a long time ago. The smart ones either manage their own money using simple, low-cost index funds, which honestly takes somewhere around 20 minutes per year once you understand the basics, or they work with what is known as a fee-only fiduciary advisor. Fee-only fiduciary advisors charge a flat hourly rate or a fixed annual fee, maybe $300 to $500 an hour, or a couple of $1,000s a year total. You pay them specifically when you need genuine guidance. You get a real comprehensive plan, and that is where the relationship ends. No silent percentage quietly draining your account in the background year after year. The math here is brutally clean. The less you give up in fees, the more you hold on to. The more you hold on to, the longer your money stays in your pocket. And the longer your money lasts, the stronger your actual retirement looks from every angle. If you're currently paying 1% or more of your portfolio to an advisor every year, do yourself a genuine favor and run the actual numbers on what that is costing you over the next 25 years. You might be completely horrified, or you might decide the peace of mind is worth every penny, but at the very minimum, know exactly what you are handing over and what you are getting in return. And number one, the quiet wealth killer that nobody talks about enough, emotional spending. This is the big one, the one that wrecks more retirements than bad investment decisions and medical expenses combined, and almost nobody brings it up openly because it requires looking honestly at yourself. Emotional spending is anything you purchase based on how you feel in that particular moment, rather than what you actually need or planned for. And retirement, my friend, is absolutely loaded with emotional triggers coming at you from every direction. You are bored on a Tuesday afternoon and you end up scrolling through Amazon for 45 minutes. You are feeling a little disconnected from people, so you order something just to have something to look forward to showing up at the front door. Your friend posts their cruise photos on Facebook, and suddenly you have half a vacation booked, even though your budget genuinely says otherwise. Like, the grandkids come through for a visit and you walk out of the toy store $400 lighter on things they will forget about before the car clears your neighborhood. You drive past a dealership and the thought crawls in, I gave 40 years to this. I have absolutely earned this. Any of that land a little close to home, wealthy retirees build what I call emotional spending immunity over time. It is almost like a muscle that strengthens with every single repetition. They do not shop to kill boredom. They have real hobbies and genuine interests for that. They do not buy things to fill an emotional gap. They pick up the phone and call the people they actually care about. They do not purchase their grandkids' affection with a credit card. They show up with their time and their presence, which is genuinely worth more than anything on a shelf, and never shows up on a monthly statement. The most powerful question they ask themselves before any non-essential purchase is simply this: will I still be glad I bought this in 30 days? Try it for real the next time you're about to hit buy now on Amazon at 10:30 at night. Just stop for 1 second and ask yourself honestly. If the answer is yes, then go for it. But you will be genuinely surprised how often the honest answer is probably not, and how much money that one brief pause can protect over the course of a full year. Because here is what almost nobody actually tells you. The biggest threat to your retirement is not the stock market. It is not inflation. It is not even healthcare costs, as real and as heavy as those can be. The single biggest threat to your retirement is you on a slow afternoon, feeling a little bored or a little down or a little restless, reaching for your wallet to make that feeling go away quickly. Like, wealthy retirees figured out at some point that money genuinely cannot repair an emotion, so they completely stopped trying to use it for that purpose. And that one realization alone is worth more to a retirement than any investment strategy they will ever come across or any financial book they will ever read. So there you have it. The retirees you see living completely stress-free in their later years did not land there because they hit a lottery jackpot or inherited a fortune from someone. The overwhelming majority got there by quietly skipping purchases that every single person around them was making without a second thought. While the neighbors were financing new SUVs and tearing apart their kitchens for the third time in a decade, they were keeping the old Camry on the road, leaving the perfectly fine kitchen completely alone, and watching the account balance climb year after year. Boring? Maybe. So But you know what is genuinely more boring than that? Yum. Picking up part-time work at 76 because the retirement account ran dry somewhere between the golf club membership and the fourth kitchen remodel. If this gave you something real to think about today, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want more content that actually breaks down the real money habits of people who retired comfortably, not the polished highlight reel version, but the honest real life version, go ahead and hit subscribe and stick around. Drop a comment below and tell me honestly which one of these 7 landed closest to home for you. I am genuinely not here to judge anybody. I will be completely straight with you. I have personally been guilty of at least 2 of them myself, so this is a no judgment zone from start to finish. I will catch you in the next one. Take care of yourselves out there, and hey, maybe take one more honest look at that cart before you actually check out tonight.